What's going on, team? Back at it again with another video. Today is the 23rd, Sunday. Tomorrow the market opens, and these are going to be the top stocks I'm watching for this upcoming week. Before we get started, it is earnings season, so you definitely want to start looking at those earning stocks ahead of time. So what I'm about to show you is going to be the earning stocks for this upcoming week. But you can find the full calendar on basically marketwatch.com, or you could go to Earnings Whispers on Instagram to get the full earnings calendar. Typically, I like watching these stocks maybe a month or a few weeks before they actually announce earnings. This way you could catch that pre-earnings run up. I never trade earnings. This is like a little earnings tip for me to you. So I never trade earnings basically the day of. I play the after the run up, or I play after they announce. Now you know which way the stocks are going to go. Now you could bet up, bet going down. So that's pretty much how I like to play earnings. I feel like it's a lot safer bet than YOLOing your money the day of earnings. So this is going to be the key stocks that are having earnings this week. I posted it on my Instagram at Wall Street Assassins. We have a few stocks that you guys may know and love, but few the key ones that I may be watching is going to be Johnson and Johnson. You know, they've been making vaccines, and their last vaccine is not really top notch compared to the rest of them. GE, we have Capital One. If the ones over here, these are pre-market. So you have 3M pre-market on Tuesday. You have Microsoft after hours. So after 4 o'clock Eastern, you have Microsoft, Texas Instrument, Capital One. Those are going to be the key ones you guys may want to watch on Tuesday. Wednesday, pre-market. So before the bell rings, you're going to have Boeing, AT&T, even the NASDAQ, all reporting pre-market. And after hours on Wednesday, we have Tesla. So that's going to be an interesting one. They do have some delays with their Cybertruck. They've been affected by the chip shortage. So let's see how that's going to basically go over for them. They have Intel on Wednesday after hours as well. We have Levi's, and we have a number of other companies. Thursday, we have MasterCard, we have McDonald's, we have JetBlue, the Dow, so Southwest Airlines, so a few companies on Thursday, even Apple after hours, Robinhood, which stock hasn't really been doing good as well, Visa. So we have a few names that we know and love on Thursday as well. And Friday, pre-market, typically on Friday, they do it before the market opens. They don't do the after hours, but we do have Chevron, we have Caterpillar, and then I think that's pretty much it. So definitely want to watch to see what these stocks are going to do this week, especially if you're interested in them. The main ones I'm probably going to be watching is basically Boeing, Tesla, maybe Apple, Robinhood, and see if we get any more meme runs from that. But other than that, these are going to be the key stocks I'm watching, starting with number one, the SPY, right? So I love to trade the SPY, quick contracts, you could get in and out. But looking at the SPY on the 180-day 4-hour chart, for those of you who use the RSI is saying that this stock is basically oversold, meaning we should see some type of bounce action coming into tomorrow. So I'm expecting us to bounce this level right here, and which is at that 436. You can see if we drop down towards a smaller chart, the 436 level has been some type of support, or we basically closed there on Friday. So going into this upcoming week, we want to see us to try to bounce off this level. You can see in the past, this is basically the date and time over here in September. We kind of held that 436 level before. So I'm expecting some type of bounce. But once we do start to bounce, I don't know if we're really going to hold that bounce. So that's one key thing we want to watch. We've been forming this trend on the SPY that we're basically bounce every morning, give it back up. So this is going to be a key week where we do have Powell going to speak on the 26th, and he's going to be trying to talk about inflation and all those fears that basically he spoke about last month, that basically what he was saying was not adding up, which is causing more fear in the overall market. So he has to kind of come back and redid what he said. So hopefully he could basically cause some type of rebound in the overall stock market. So that we have to wait for the 26th. So make sure you guys keep some money aside, because that's going to be a very volatile day. But other than that, let's see if we bounce off this $36 level coming into tomorrow. I would love to see for us to bounce. if we're looking for a bullish trend, I would love to see us hold above this 443, which if you see the bottom of these candles, we form some type of support and a descending triangle over here. So above 443, 444, we could start pushing up towards 448, 453. And the main goal is we want to get above this trend line. If you guys watch my previous videos, this trend line is that long-term trend line that the SPY has basically been respecting, and we should basically start getting bullish from there. There's a lot more possibility for upside than downside. Doesn't mean that there's going to be less downside than upside, right? So when I go into the market, I like to keep an empty mind, and I don't like to judge, hey, I'm going to be bullish today or I'm going to be bearish, because as you guys can see, the market is very news driven, right? So as long as you know how to read these charts, you guys should be okay. But if we do see some more downside, watch for that 436 or 435 break. If you can see, this is the 180-day chart. We haven't really broken that level since basically October. So once we start to break that level, we could basically start dropping from 436 down towards that 431, and we could even go lower to like 425. So if we jump over towards the 1 year, you can see that the 1 year chart, there is possible downside. We even broke the 1 year SMA, which typically when stocks are above that SMA, the stock is more in favor for a bullish trend. And we're still oversold here. So we could bounce, come back down, or just bounce and recover. So a lot of things to think about. One other chart we want to look at is the 1 year, 1 week. You can see the 1 year, 1 week. RSI still has more room to the downside. So definitely want to keep that in mind. Not all our charts are oversold. We do have some more possible downside on the 1 year, 1 week chart. So that's my outlook for the SPY. We're looking for basically, to break it down again, 443 or 444 up towards those 450 ranges, or 436 down to 431 and down towards like 425 for this upcoming week. So definitely, guys, keep those alerts set, and definitely want to watch the market pre-market to see how we open up. Next stock we want to talk about is Tesla. So this is going to be a key one we want to watch this week. Let me just clear these up. Tesla actually has earnings this week. So Tesla has been falling as a casualty to the overall market. So it's nothing that Tesla did to basically make it drop. But overall, if we're looking at Tesla's chart, even before this drop, we've been getting some real sideways action from Tesla. So Tesla hasn't really had any key direction ever since we hit that 1250, and we kind of been going sideways. But to be honest, this is nothing new for Tesla. If you guys look at Tesla from a longer period of chart, you guys can see that Tesla actually does like to push up and start moving sideways. So if we look at maybe like a 1 year chart, I've been trading Tesla for a long time. You can see that every time Tesla makes one of these massive moves, she likes to push up and go sideways. When we go towards like a 3 year chart, you can probably see some Tesla action. So you can see it on the 3 year chart over here. Every time we push up, it goes sideways, push up, go sideways, push up, go sideways. So this is nothing new for Tesla. Market is pulling back. So let's watch these key levels that I'm about to explain to you right here. We do have some type of support over here at this 936 level. Once we break that, we can start going down towards 892. So watch out for that possible drop. And for the upside, you want to watch for this 976 level to be broken. Once we start to break above 976, which was a previous support, which was a previous resistance support. So that 976 is a key area we want to watch for that possible upside towards that 1037. So make sure you guys keep Tesla on watch. Make sure you guys set your alerts. It's going to be an exciting week, right? This volatility is bringing more action to the market. So I don't care if the market goes up or down, as long as we get direction. So the elephant in the room we're talking about right now is going to be Netflix. So Netflix, they're losing subscribers. They miss earnings. They're coming out with the new Squid Games. They're raising prices on their subscription. I think Netflix has been basically overpriced for some time, in my opinion, just because there is a lot more streaming services out right now. We have Hulu, we have Roku, we have HBO Max, you name it. Even Amazon has their own streaming service. So that is playing a toll on Netflix, which was expected to happen in the past, but it's just now starting to show right now. So a lot of times things happen and it takes some time for things to happen, right? So looking at Netflix, we can see this is one of the biggest drops it's ever had. I believe I read that it erased over like 3 years or 4 years of gains. So definitely want to watch to see what Netflix is going to do. It is very, very oversold on a lot of charts. So typically after we get these massive drops, we do get some people trying to buy the dip over here. One thing is when you're buying the dip, I explained in the last video, right? You want to see some type of consolidation, right? So this is the drop, the initial shell shock, people selling. You want to see some type of consolidation, that support level being formed right here, and you want to wait for that confirmation. Right now, Netflix does look like it's trying to find some type of support. You can see it drop and it's going sideways. We just need to wait for that confirmation of the upward trend, right? So to me, I think we need to get above 423. And because it fell so rapidly, there is really no major resistance levels stopping it from a major run, right? So definitely want to keep that in mind. If Netflix ever gets above this level, it doesn't even have to be this week. That's the cool thing about charts. Set your alerts. This could be a month out, a few months out. Netflix could go sideways for a long period of time, or it could start dropping even more. But waiting for that confirmation is going to save your account in the long run. Remember, your trading money is like your working money, right? If you don't have any trading money, it's all tied up in Netflix going sideways, then you're not going to be able to catch other moves. So watch for that 423 break. And then I think we can start pushing up towards 480, which would be a massive move. Now, on the downside, what if Netflix wants to drop even more, right? Even though it's oversold, people sell stuff that's a good deal all the time, right? What if people are losing faith in Netflix? So it doesn't even matter. That 379.99 needs to be broken first. And let's see, where's the next key level, right? I think we may have to go to the 3-year chart. So one thing about TD, I don't know if you guys have this issue, but a lot of times it doesn't really update those larger charts, like those 3-year charts. But we know like 379 is right here. So once we break that, that 379 has been support since like 2019. So this is the date and the time over here. So this level has been support since 2019. Once we break that, we have another key support. I don't want to say all the way at 336, but we do have another support over here from 379. And then we could start going down towards like 360s, 350s. So just keep that in watch. I do think Netflix does need a bounce or some type of sideways action before we could basically formulate some more plans on it. But I do think once we break that 379, we'll start going to 360s and start hitting the 350s and start going lower from there. But let's see what happens. I think it needs a bounce before it even decides to come back down. Next one, we're going to talk about Boeing. So looking at Boeing over here, Boeing is getting oversold on the RSI, meaning it should possibly bounce soon. It has earnings this upcoming week. Boeing has actually been going through some drama, actually, as you guys know. If you're looking at this on the 180-day chart, this looks like a giant descending step and staircase pattern to me, right? So looks like Boeing is just making highs, coming back lower, making highs, coming back lower. This time, I thought this was going to be a little bit different where we could try to break out this zone over here. But we basically got over Boeing and started to pull back down. So watch for Boeing over here at this 202 level. This 202 level looks like to be a double bottom. So if we start to basically bounce off this level, just because Boeing is moving sideways doesn't mean you can't capture any moves. It does have earnings this week, so definitely want to be careful on the 26th, no less as well too. The day Powell speaks, so 213 towards 219 and maybe higher, or watch for that 203 break, and then we could basically start coming back down towards that 197. Set your alerts on Boeing. Boeing should be a nice mover. Definitely want to keep a watch on it after earnings to see what's going on with the overall company, right? Once they announce earnings, we could see, hey, have they been making any basically progress with their overall company? And we should be able to position ourselves a lot better with Boeing. Next one I want to talk about is NVDA. So NVDA has been basically dropping. The chat room has basically been watching this one for a long time. We've been capitalizing on the downside. So there's a chip shortage. Everybody knows about the chip shortage, even if you're not even into the stock market. So definitely want to watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been basically on a nice edge, on a sharp decline. So watch for that 228 break over here. Once we start to break 228, which was some type of support, back in September. We could start basically going down towards 218, maybe even 209. It's very oversold now. But just like anything, it keeps on bouncing and coming back down. If you look at this, we keep on dropping, right? Bounce, come back down. Drop, bounce, come back down. So take that, use that as your advantage. So if we do start to ever recover on the video over here, we want to watch for that 241 break. Then we can start going 250 and probably even higher. So that's going to be for the video. Next one we're going to talk about is Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo actually just beat earnings and it's pulling back. I've been talking about this in previous videos as well. Wells Fargo has basically been very overbought. It ran from like 48 to 58, which is a massive move on Wells Fargo. So if you guys are looking for something to make some quick gains on, Wells Fargo is that stock. You could make easy percentage gain on Wells Fargo. So definitely want to watch Wells Fargo as it continues. I wanted to find some type of floor at 52 over here. I'll trust it for a long position at 54, 58, then we could start going to 55 and a lot higher. If not, 52.66 down towards 51 over here. I think we'll close it with Ford, right? Ford was on a massive move, but Ford got very ahead of itself as well. You can see Ford basically pulled back very hard over here. We were basically, whenever you see a stock, right, push up and start going sideways, that means that stock is finding resistance, right? If I'm an investor and I want my money to continue to grow and go higher, and I start to see the stock is struggling to go higher, what are you going to do? Most people are going to end up selling, right? So that's what we're seeing right here. You see the stock push up, sideways action, right? Typically that strong resistance, and people are going to sell out of that. So watch out for Ford over here. It does have some type of support down here, just like everything. I feel like a lot of stocks are oversold, so we should get a nice bounce in the overall market. If the bounce is going to hold, that's a whole nother factor, right? But watch for it to get above that 2160, and then we could start going to 22 and start going higher. If not, watch for that $20.33 break. And we can start getting into this choppy zone where you can start going to 19 and maybe even 19 flat over here. So that's going to be it. Make sure you guys keep eye on the overall market. Make sure you guys watch the pre-market. Don't get faked out by any bounces. It's been dropping and bouncing the whole time. You got to think about it, long-term picture, right? Long-term picture, market has been dropping for over like 18 days now, right? So basically the whole month of January, the market has been dropping. So just because we see one little bounce does not mean it's going to be a full recovery, right? So sometimes it's better to be patient. Hopefully you guys all have a great trading week. Make sure if you guys like this video, like the video down in the comment section, say that what stocks you guys are watching. Maybe I'll throw it in the next video as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video later.